best of times for the House in the 15th Congress. The House, under the leadership of Speaker Feliciano Belmonte, restored credibility in the institution, renewed confidence of our people as shown by its high approval and trust ratings. Today, it convened for the final stretch of its run. Tomorrow, the House will close its sessions. What led to the turnaround of the House's image? Well, joining us tonight to shed light on this on NewsLife is Deputy Speaker Erin Tañada. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Isabel.
Sir, straight to the point, will the end of your third and final term will be tomorrow? You've witnessed the best of times and the worst of times for the House since 2004. How different is the image of the House as you leave the institution? What led, in your opinion, to the turnaround?
Well, of course, what led to the turnaround is the leadership also of the President. You had a leader who was really intentionally would want to fight for reforms in our country, and because of his insistence on in his reform agenda, you had a speaker who also believed in what the President wanted to do. So this translated into the high approval ratings of the House of Representatives. I've been in Congress for the last 9 years, and I was under the leadership of two different speakers during my first 6 years, and under the leadership of Speaker Belmonte here in my last 3 years, and we can actually see the differences. And as a matter of fact, the House never had received such high approval ratings compared to the predecessors of Speaker Belmonte.
So in your opinion, what are the major achievements of the House in the 15th Congress?
Well, we can first start, of course, with anti-corruption measures. Number one, we impeached, although she resigned later on, the Ombudsman. We impeached the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. These are anti-corruption that I think resonated with the people. We were able to pass a law with regard to allowances of government-controlled corporations. And then outside of that, we have very important bills like the reproductive health bill, the sin taxes. We were able to pass the budget, 3 budgets, before the year ended. This is quite different from previous Congresses when we would always have a reenacted budget for the first 2 or 3 months of the succeeding year. So under the leadership of President Aquino, he made sure that once Congress, once he delivered the SONA, the day after, he would submit for deliberation the budget for the succeeding year. And we're expecting that to happen also in the 16th Congress. So these are some examples of the pieces of legislation that the House and the Senate passed here in the 15th Congress.
So can we say that the leadership of President Aquino lead to a more committed House and perhaps devoted to a cause and a crusade for good government?
Of course, and we believe that this will, especially with the newly elected members of the Senate. As we've always mentioned, as a spokesperson of Team Pinoy, we were able to get 9 senators elected under Team Pinoy, and in the House we were able to get at least 110 members of the Liberal Party, not counting the other political parties that are with the majority coalition in the House. So this would signal that the President's reform agenda would continue, and we expect concentration in other economic matters that would speed up the development of our country.
So you have worked with different speakers. How would you compare Speaker Belmonte's leadership? Will he retain his grip on the House?
Oh yes, I think it's a foregone conclusion with 110 members of the Liberal Party, plus, of course, the other members of the coalition. He will retain the speakership of the House. It's really a question on who will be the minority floor leader. So that's where the challenge for those who want to assume the leadership as the minority floor leader would come. So there's no question with regard to that. So I think we'll just have to wait for the formality that would happen in the 4th Monday of July.
So looking back and looking ahead, How different are the members of the House then and the new ones who will be part of the 16th Congress?
Well, I haven't looked really at the numbers on how many incoming first-term congressmen there are. But I would still believe that even if they belong to other political parties or other party list groups, they would have the same idealism that the members of the House in the 15th Congress had in order to support the President. We just have one country, and if they believe that the President is doing very well, which we all agree with a first quarter GDP growth of 7.8, if we're able to sustain this for the whole year, then I think the country is really on the road to better recovery. So I believe the other members of the House, whatever party they belong to, would help support the President's agenda.
So on this note, and moving on to a more personal note, what's the most memorable experience for you in the 15th Congress, and can we ask what are your plans for the future? Well,
of course, the 15th Congress was practically different for me. I became the deputy speaker of the House of Representatives, so my role now was to make sure that the plenary session runs smoothly, and this is different from a regular congressman that would just sit and listen to the proceedings. And of course, what would be different right now is come July 1, I'll be back as a private citizen unless the President calls that I serve the country in a different office or in different agency.
So sir, on this note, a final word from you.
Well, again, the first 3 years under the Aquino administration has brought a lot of promise. It is now up to the next Congress to follow through on the reform agenda that the President has laid down for us. And we are looking at laws that would ensure fair competition, level playing field for the different businesses here, to attract even investors and to provide more jobs in our country.
On that very positive note, thank you very much, Deputy Speaker Erin Tañada, for joining us on NewsLife.
Thank you, Isabel.